Hello, my name is, of course, Coulson Kaufman, and I had to do this um, kind of like assignment for ELA, which is about a missing unsolved mystery case on Brandon Lawson. This is pretty much my final project for it, showcasing like evidence and such theories and etc. So the topic of this video is Brandon Lawson's unknown reason for disappearance and why he disappeared in the first place. Our research question, or mine anyways, is did Brandon Lawson get murdered or did he purposely leave without notice? Our summary question one, which is what makes this an unsolved mystery? What I find it to be an unsolved mystery is how he's been missing for around 8 years now, and there really hasn't been any new claims of suspected from other people besides like family members trying to find him in which area that he went missing in the first place and couldn't be found ever since then of the missing date back in 2013. I think that's what makes it an unsolved mystery. Summary question two, who was involved? The people that were involved, besides like Brandon himself, because he's the main person, main character, were police, but that was the afterwards. But the main people that were involved in this was Kyle Lawson, which is the brother of Brandon Lawson, and one to two other men completely dressed in black that had been supposedly accidentally pushed by Brandon, who he didn't even have memory. Brandon said he did not have memory of who these people were, so who knows who they could have been, but he said that there were, one, two people in black dresses completely. When did it happen? The date of the incident happened in San Diego, Texas. Yes, there's San Diego in Texas. San Diego, Texas on August 8th, 2013. Where did it occur? The accident occurred around 11:54 p.m. You could say 11:55 p.m. if you want to, on US 227 227 4.5 miles south of Bronte, Texas. So it's more like a forest area where he was gone, like where he was no longer seen. Five, which is how was it able to become or remain a unsolved mystery? It was able to become like an unsolved mystery by knowing by police that ever since he went missing and has been trying to be found in the same area that he went missing in, there was like, again, it's like there was no evidence of finding him at the time and in the future. Only theories on what could have happened, beliefs, and just really it was just like theories and such of what the family members thought, what police thought, what other citizens that know about this thought. This is how it's became a unsolved mystery, which is where did he go, and how it has remained as a mystery to theories on how he could have died and or ran away. So the first theory of Brandon Lawson is, did he run away? Now, I did find a percentage of people that believe in this, which is 18.6% of the people, which, again, is not a lot of people. But the reason they believe in this is the evidence of this theory is the first one is there was a crime warrant which gave a sentence of 2 to 20 years in prison. However, he was out and on bond, so he was likely looking at more punishment, time served, or a short sentence, which means if he didn't want to go to jail, he would run away and or fake his death this way. The other piece of evidence that I found that supports this is Brandon's family has said, however, that Brandon had already done time in state prison and was not afraid of having to go back, which kind of is not the best kind of evidence, which is like, okay, if he wasn't worried about going back, why would he run away from it? So it is helpful, but it's also at the same time not helpful really as well. The theory number two is Did Brandon Lawson do drugs? Now, there are three pieces of evidence that conclude to this theory, and 19.9% of the people actually agree with this theory. I am one of them, so I guess it would be 20, but whatever. So, according to Brandon's argument with Ledisa was about drugs. It shows that Brandon had tried to score some meth earlier in the day and was trying to reveal his brother into helping him get some. Kyle also mentioned that Brandon had done meth on the night he had disappeared, which kind of is believable for the fact that if you do a drug substance that's that high or very uncontrollably addicting, then you're going to see crazy stuff and you're going to feel like you're either going to die from an overdose or you're going to feel really crazy and get yourself lost, pretty much, right? So knowing that, it's like, okay, that kind of feels more believable. The second piece of evidence is in his nervous paranoid state, it's possible that Brandon wandered off somewhere to hide and submitted to the elements or to a drug overdose. He could have fallen in the water and drowned, for all we know. So, yeah, he could have also supposedly drowned because of being so, lost out of reality from drug overdosage or just completely lost for paranoia and nervous breakdown systems. So it's another one. And the third one is, or Brandon was involved in a drug deal gone bad while he was high. But again, where is the proof of the crime? And where's the body? Some people also believe that the body was taken by the two people, but I didn't put that as like a theory because there's not a lot of evidence showing that. And such, and I didn't want to include it unless there was evidence to show it. But that's kind of also believable because there was one of the two people that he had accidentally pushed, maybe trying to tell him something, and or it was a drug deal going on that went very badly or something, right? But I believe more of the first and second theory evidences than the third one on this one. Moving on, I made a bonus theory. I was going to say just number 3, but I decided, why not make it bonus theory, which was, did he get murdered? Now, 61.5% of the people actually agree with this, making it very huge for people to believe in, for people who believe in this theory. Now, I'm not saying everyone has seen this, but off of databases, I can imagine this is the numbers I've gotten from like what I searched. So of people that read this, adding up to 100%, that's what I got. And one of them, there's 4 total. One of them is based on the 911 call. Brandon ran into these people through it's not obvious exactly what that suggests. Some have recommended he physically ran into another vehicle or hit an actual person, but there was nothing seen at the scene to suggest either scenario had happened. I was almost not going to include that because, again, it's like, in some ways it's like a theory in itself, like another theory in itself, that it's kind of telling the people one theory already, but then it's telling like 2 theories inside that one theory. So it's kind of a continuous theory suggestion within this whole sentence. But I just put it there because it was there in the evidence of theory for this one, so I put it there, and I thought it would fit in, even though it has in the over end like a lot of other theories just in that one sentence. And then the 3 other ones is he mentioned to his brother Kyle that the Mexicans in his neighborhood were after him. However, no one knew who he was pointing to, and his truck broke down in an isolated area, not a neighborhood. Yeah, it broke down in a forest area, where most people are to probably go missing in some ways. It didn't happen in an area where there was neighborhoods, houses of any sort nearby or known to. But if by what the quote says, the Mexicans in the neighborhood, if those were the people dressed up in the black suits, it could also be believable. But there was only two people. I can imagine if it's a neighbor, it's probably one or even five people, not two, but that could be a possibility, I guess. The other one is during an interview with Kyle on the Crawl Space podcast, Kyle said Brandon informed him that Larissa got the aforementioned Mexicans from the neighborhood to follow him out of town. Two were still chasing him, but a third one had been pulled over by a state trooper. So this one kind of gives more of more evidence to if it was the neighbors that were, Mexican. But I said the quote, Mexican neighborhood people, the people in that neighborhood, that could have been the main cause of murder towards Brandon. And they said that a third one got pulled over by a state trooper. So then it leads down to two people, which could be the remaining two that, ended Brandon Lawson, murdered him pretty much. And then the third one is pretty short, but a second voice may have been recorded on the call, the 911 call, which refers to either one of the two people, Mexican or not, that could have caught up to Brandon. Or Brandon could have done two voices. It just sounded very different. The quality of the call, from what I heard, is really bad, and even if you try to make it better, you really can't. But they say there's a second voice in there there's a second voice in there, meaning he could have gotten murdered, possibly, but the quality's so bad you can't really even tell it. So now we move on to my beliefs, and my beliefs of this is that he did drug overdose, that he was hallucinating, and died from possible drowning and or drug poisoning, or really drug overdosage. The reason I do believe this theory pretty much, is because of his life story. He has had many depression issues, paranoia issues, which a lot of the time can lead to certain drug uses over time with other people. So that's what if I compare other people, you're not supposed to compare other people really to the same person, but I'm completing that a majority of people usually do the same thing, and Brandon could be of one of them. So it would kind of make sense more for me, in my opinion, that he had because it even said in the past he had consumed a lot more drugs than what the human body should even congest of, past the limit, pretty much. And it kind of makes more sense if that's what it is to me, basically. Then I got information from the original articles that I have citations at the bottom. One of them called the article of Brandon Mason Lawson from Cron News by Brett Baroqueer, I think. Queer. I can't say it. I don't want to be bad if I said it wrong, basically. And this article gave me information on Brandon, which was how he was before the incident, probably years before the incident happened, and or months or weeks, or somewhere within the same kind of region of when the incident happened and before when it happened, and the days right before it, and missing report files given out happened. This one doesn't give out the theories of it. It just explains how his family is still trying to look for him, dead or alive, and giving documents and magazines and the original police that were going to find him by helicopter, by all these etc. things, just to find this guy. And different stories told within it, which they're not theories, they're just different stories of what I'm doing here on the article side. So not theories, but just different stories told, pretty much. But it was pretty much just this one just explained more articles kind of given on it on what the family's still doing now after almost 8 years, basically. The second article given information called the article called "Unsolved Mystery of the Disappearance of Brandon Lawson." This was from the website Vizika, something like that, by Emily Sean. They gave me this information on Brandon Lawson, which was that the article gave clues that he had extreme paranoia after the last couple of years after being released from jail and prison. 3 months happened. Around 3 months happened, before the missing report that occurred for Brandon at. And it gives me more it gives me information like a conclusion on Brandon and his potential death result and or running away, pretty much, and gives more on the video of how bad the quality is and what can be said and what can be auto-tuned as best as possible to see if there was a second voice and or if it was just his own very scared. But since the quality was, again, so horrible, not even auto-tune really could fix it in this case, done by anyone. And it also gives kind of like context on what the police said that night and what they told Brandon's brother Kyle to say what happened about that night exactly, and the information goes on, etc. Basically from there, kind of like the first article. The last article, it gave me a whole bunch of stuff. It gave me videos, it gave me flyers, it gave me news, it gave me more media resources and further information. It gave me the people that were trying to find him, like investigation agencies, police departments, comments on this. And this is from the article Missing Brandon Lawson from Disappeared. That's the website organization. It just gives me a lot of paragraphs on the conclusion, the case report, the videos, police agencies in the area of San Diego, Texas. It gave me just more of that stuff, which is kind of what the second and first article gave me, but it gives more and more than what the other two combined gave me. So it's the same information. It just gives more and more throughout videos, telling kind of the same story as I am currently, basically. And then that's the YouTube video link. So these are the citations because I don't want to leave them out. So I got one of them from the charlieproject.org. I didn't put it in here, but that was the very first one I used for my research questions and such before I made this. The Vizika.com, cron.com, www.cron.com, and disappearedblog.com. Also, the very start, because I had to pick an unsolved mystery. I just didn't know who to pick it on. Originally, it was going to be Michael Jackson, but that's kind of autopsy where no one's really releasing any more data to it. I mean, no one really is, but with Michael Jackson, it's kind of all over the place versus Brandon Lawson's case. Now, I can't link the exact video for some reason because there's some copyright issue for some reason to there's some weird copyright issue that goes to the exact video in which if I try to show it, then it'll be blocked and said it's not restricted for your age, basically. So I'm just kind of just saying this is his channel, Nuke's Top 5, where I found the video. And then if you search on his channel, Unsolved Mystery, there's a couple of videos of compilations of Unsolved Mystery, but one of them I found had Brandon Lawson's case in it, and then I chose that one. But I can't get the original link, unfortunately, which sucks. But sometimes, sometimes I guess that's the problem. Sometimes you can't do everything like that. But basically, that is it from my video. I hope you guys enjoy. Subscribe if you want to. And that is it for my final project on ELA for the Brandon Lawson Unsolved Mystery Case. I'm gonna end the video now. Bye.